Hey there everybody, this is Mike Jones from the Connection Games and Comics with my round 1 from Friday, June the 21st, Return Ravnica block draft. My round 1 opponent is Jamie, a good friend of mine who I haven't seen in years, so it was great to see you out there again, Jamie. Hopefully you'll be able to make it back to the store one of these days too. Big shout out to Tailwind, showing up with her dad, let him play Magic. Anyway, so I get an opening hand with a bunch of lands, an Edict, Gyre Sage, so I've got at least a creature I can play on turn 2. Balustrades by and no black sources. Oh well. So he leads off with Riot Piker. So Jamie was sitting 2 seats to my left, and he was the one that picked up on the heavy Gruul signal I was sending, and ended up getting both the Gruul War Chant and the Armed and Dangerous. So I'm going to take 2 here. I'm not going to block the Riot Piker. He drops a Rakdos Cluestone. Or is that a Gruul Cluestone? Gruul, yeah. Anyway, so I'll swing back for 1 since I'm not blocking the guy and I can't cast any of the 4-drops in my hand. So I think I've got a Thrashing Moss Dog and the Karazda Monitor in my hand. So I guess I got a decision to make next turn. Which one am I going to play? Unless I draw a Swamp, in which case I'll probably play the Spy. Anyway, he drops the Ash Zealot, so I've got 2/2/2 first strikes coming at me, so I'm going to take 4 here. Not much I can say about that. First strike, haste seems to be a good combo there. So I draw Ready and Willing. I still don't have the black source to make that happen yet. So is it Thrashing Moss Dog or Karazda Monitor? Which one? He's probably going to kill the first one I play. He doesn't seem to have much in the way of flyers in his deck, so I'm going to drop the Reach guy first. He's also a little cheaper to scavenge, I think, so that's going to evolve my Gyre Sage as well. So now I've got blockers for both his dudes, if he decides he wants to bring both. And I'll pass the turn back. I have a sufficient amount of mana now. All I need is some black, and then I can play Ready and Willing or Balustrade Spy. So he has to throw in the Riot Piker. I'm going to throw the Moss Dog in front of it. He's going to play I thought he was scavenging something here, but actually he is, or blood rushing something here, but he's actually just massive raiding my dude for 2 before damage, and then first strike damage will kill the Moss Dog. So bye bye Moss Dog. So that was the correct play on my part, to play the Reach creature before the Trample creature, since I'm going to be trying to scavenge him out sooner. So I think the right play here, I don't know actually, throwing down the Karazda Monitor doesn't seem like a bad idea. Unless he's got another trick up his sleeve. I'll evolve my Gyre Sage again, so now it's a 3/4. Should get him out of most shenanigans range. I've got an Edict in my hand for whatever he throws down here if I really don't like it. So yeah, he doesn't have a trick anymore, so bye bye Riot Piker, because the Riot Piker had to attack that turn. That's why I don't like Riot Piker, it makes you make bad attacks. And he drops the Ivy Lane Denizen. Mine! Mine! I wish that would have been so good in my deck. Oh well. And I draw the Rot Farm Skeleton, still no black sources, so I've got 1 playable card in my... Well, I guess I can play the Ready side of Ready and Willing, but that doesn't seem that productive right now. Maybe if he attacks into it. But I can Edict away the Ivy Lane Denizen, which seems pretty reasonable. Actually, I don't want him to start putting counters on that Ash Zealot, because it would get really big and mean looking if it gets XX first strike that can still block my dudes. Don't like that. So get rid. Bye bye Ivy Lane Denizen. And then I will swing with the Trampler, and it'll put Jamie down to 16. Your turn. Seems like both our decks are pretty stally in the early game. I think he's trying to rush out some stuff. That's the only reason to play Riot Piker, I guess. And he passes the turn back. And I draw Armored Wolf Rider. That seems pretty good. At least I can play it. Still looking for a black source. 3 cards in my hand. That would be much better with a black source. Am I going to attack? Yeah, I'll get in there. And I'll take him down to 13. And I'll drop the Wolf Rider. And completely miss the Evolve trigger. Oops. I guess it doesn't really matter so much. But still, I know it's bad. You should always hit your Evolve triggers if you can remember them. There's not a lot left in my deck that'll evolve the Gyre Sage at this point. But anyway, so he's going to cycle his Clue Stone to draw a card. Trying to find something to do something to me. Draw for his turn. Gets the land. I just noticed there that I forgot to evolve my dude. Jamie says, yep, you did. And he drops the Riot Gear. And his own monitor. That's what that is, right? And I get Scab Clan Charger. I can Blood Rush that if I want, or I can just scavenge my monitor onto my Trampler, making him a 6/6 Trampler. That seems like a reasonable play. And I'll swing with my 4/6 and my 6/6, and Jamie just takes it. That's 10 damage, puts him down to 3. And I got the Blood Rusher left in my hand, so see, he can do 3, 5. So I would trample over for 1 Blood Rush, 2 more. Or if he doesn't have another blocker here, I can attack with all 3 and just win that way. But he has a blocker, it looks like. Oh yeah, the Maze Rusher. That's pretty good. I draw the Centaur Healer. Let's just go for it here. Depending on how he blocks, I can Blood Rush the Trampler and win that way. Very worst case scenario, I'm taking out a significant amount of his team. And I can still drop the Centaur Healer after. Still haven't drawn my Black Source in this game. It's funny, the white's a splash. Anyway, so I attack in. Jamie looks at the defense and says, yeah, game 1 goes to you. He might have been able to block there and survive, but I doubt it. I didn't actually work it out in my head. So on to game 2. And I get another hand with white and green and no black. I've got Ready and Willing in my opening hand. 3 lands, a Smite, and I keep and draw some green for it. So drew another forest there. It's like sigh. And another plains. Whee! Drawing lots of lands. So I got Guardian of the Gateless on if I can get to turn 5. That seems good. And another black card that I can't cast. Dagger Drome Imp. Jamie plays something on turn 4. So fortunately he had a slow start and drops a Cinderella. That's the one that's going to do damage to my dude. So I really am motivated to get that off the board. And I draw Scab Clan Charger. So that's a pretty fair trade. If he wants to play a land and see, can he even do it? Yeah, if he plays a land, he could blow up that to kill my Scab Clan Charger. That seems pretty. I'll do that. If I'll take that if he does that. But no, he's going to play a Clue Stone and pass the turn back. It looks like no, and drop a Riot Gear. All right. Setting up for something here. I draw Avenging Arrow. Dun dun dun. That was a nice top deck. Alright. What am I doing here? I'll attack. That was a stupid attack. Yeah, you need. I mean, I'm sort of thinking he's gonna kill my dude anyway, but I shouldn't have let him got a free attack in with it. Because then, yeah, now he gets a free attack with Cinderella. And a Maze Rusher. Whee! So I'm taking, what, 8? I could have at least blocked the Cinderella. That would have kept him from doing that. So that was a stupid play on my part. A little bit greedy, a little bit too aggressive. Anyway, so I'm going to Avenging Arrow the Cinderella anyway. Which is really kind of what I guess was thinking there. I wanted to tempt him into attacking with the Cinderella so that I could Avenging Arrow it before he killed my creature. And I got my black source, so I'm pretty happy about that. So now I can drop everything in my hand. I will just drop the Guardian of the Gateless. And am I going to attack? Yeah, why not? Again, I think I'm being a little too aggressive here, considering the board state. I'm staring down a very large Maze Rusher next turn, if he equips onto it. And what's he got, though? So here I get August Breed, so bye-bye Guardian of the Gateless. There is a Splatter Thug, 3/3 first strike, and I take 6. So not looking real good over here. I draw a Swamp, so I can Edict something. I could hold up Smite. I think the right play was actually to hold up Smite here, maybe? Or can I hold up Ready and Willing and Smite? Actually, that would have been the smarter play. Would have been to hold up Ready and Willing, wait for him to attack into it, gain a bunch of life. But I'm going to Edict here. I had enough mana to do Ready and Willing. There, and I would have, well, actually I guess I would have just gained 2 life and killed one of his, and I still would have taken 3, so I would have been net up 1. So he puts the right gear on there, making it a 4/5 first strike unleashed dude, so I'm just gonna chump. It's got first strike, so I don't gain any life there. Trying to think if I had a way out of this. Okay, so here again, I think I need to play the Slate Street Ruffian down just in case he has removal, block, and smite. But Jamie has other plans here, so I'm down to 6. So at the end of my turn, he's going to do 1 to me with Massive Raid, and then when he's going to untap an Explosive Impact. So that's game 2. I don't have anything in my hand that's going to prevent 6 damage straight to the dome. Right. On to game 3. A few play mistakes. I don't know if I had other options than the Daggerdrome Imp and the Angelic Edict there. I think maybe getting rid of the maybe using the Ready and Willing might have been a better play. That would have given me 2 more life and would have kept me out of range of that play he just did there. So here we are into game 3. I've got some black sources this time, no white of course, which is what I expected my deck to do given how I set it up. Anyway, I'll drop the Slate Street Ruffian on turn 3. He hasn't made a play yet. We get a Splatter Thug, so that's not blocking my dude anyway. I'm not certainly going to get in front of that. So I drop Prophetic Prism. Okay, that's some mana fixing, that's good. And some card draw. Looking at my hand, not much else I can do anyway. I mean, I'm not really going to Blood Rush because he can't block, so. Yeah, so I'll drop the Prism here. Doesn't matter what you leave up, dummy. Prophetic Prism will fix your mana anyway. Alright, hey, draw another land. Alright, so I have 2 mana, 1 of any color. And nothing I can cast with that. Still not blocking the Splatter Thug, so I might as well get in there for 2. And push Jamie to 18. And he draws Swamp. He's got all 3 of his colors. He's going to drop the Ash Zealot and hit me for 5. Ouch. Puts me down to 15. So, a little bit slow, but not bad for Jamie. Guess he would have liked that a little earlier. I get my Swamp, so now I've got 5 mana, and I can make white with the Prism. So I can drop Guardian. Might as well attack with Slate Seed Ruffian. He's not a good blocker for either of those dudes anyway. Yeah, so he's got 5 first strike damage coming through. So I can't block both dudes with Guardian of the Gateless because he just dies straight up to first strike damage. But I can block one because that turns him into a 4/4. And I guess if he attacks with both, I've got to figure out which one. And it almost assuredly guarantees that Jamie has a trick if he attacks here. But I really don't want to take 5 more. I kind of am losing the that race if I let it happen. Let's see though, I'm swinging back for 5 next turn unless he has a blocker after combat here. Yeah, here he comes, so let's find out what the trick is. Either way, you know, I've seen the massive raid last turn, or last game, or in both games. So he's going to be able to do 2 damage. So either creature I block is still going to kill my Guardian of the Gateless with first strike damage. If he does that, I don't know what else I saw in his deck, but certainly I I would expect some Blood Rush in his deck too. And the first strike's going to kill me, so I guess take it in front of something. Yeah, take the bigger one. So I'll stick Guardian in front of Splatter Thug and make him into a 4/4. I hem and haw about it for a while because he's still got a bunch of cards in hand and a whole bunch of mana on tap. There we go. Pick the Splatter Thug, and sure enough, we see a Gore Clan Rampager. Is that what that is? No, what the hell is that thing? Why can I never remember the name of that card? Anyway, it's the +3/+2 Blood Rush creature, which is enough to kill my thing, and I take 2. Puts me down to 13. I take 2 from the Ash Zealot that wasn't blocked. And he drops the Cluestone. And I draw a Plains. Huzzah! Alright, so I got lots of mana. I've got Courser's Accord in my hand, Scab Clan Charger, Rot Farm Skeleton, and Ready and Willing. I think the best plan I've got here is Courser's Accord. It gives me 2 3/3s. That should stop the Ash Zealot. And perhaps I can pull off some Ready and Willing shenanigans after that. Get some life back and kill off some of his creatures. So there we go, Courser's Accord. I'll go find some Centaur tokens. And I think I make a bad attack here again. I might as well though, the Slate Street Ruffian's really not doing anything, so I'll get in there for 2 more. Puts him down to 14. Even on the defense, he's not stopping much. And he's going to tap 5 mana for... Alright. Rage Mutt and Gruul Charm with the other 2 green and red that he has open there. And he swings for 3, 6, 7, 8. And he gains 3. So I'm down to 5 and he's up to 17. Whoa, yikes. I'm not liking the way this game is going. This is kind of the way I expected this deck to work, to be honest with you. Just to stall out and not have much of a play. So this was actually, it took me a little thinking here. But okay, so he's showing me Explosive Impact. I'm at 5 life. He's tapped out. He's got at least 1 card in hand there. If I let him untap, I could just be dead, whether he attacks or not. So I'm kind of forced to play Ready and Willing here on my turn after I declare attackers, just to prevent myself from dying to an Explosive Impact that he either has in hand or could top deck because he has the mana to cast it. Or if he has any number of burn spells that would have taken me out of this game. So I'm going to Ready and Willing, which untaps all my dudes, gives them Death Touch, Lifelink, and Indestructible. So that's going to do 8 damage to him and give me 8 life back. Puts me to 13 and him down to 9. And really, I think keeps me in this game. I think I am dead if I don't do that there. I still got the Rot Farm Skeleton and the Scab Clan Charger. Slaughterhorn, that's the name of the +3/+2 card. With Blood Rush for 1 green. Never seem to remember it when I need to remember it. Anyway, so he's going to cycle the Clue Stone there, try and find something, and I think he's having the worst luck here. He's got those 2 bomb cards in his hand. So he plays the Ivyling Denizen. That's going to slowly build the advantage up on his side for sure. I draw my Gyre Sage. Not too helpful right in here. But I'll play him. He's going to be a decent blocker actually, because I can evolve him twice with the cards in my hand. And then I'll play another 4 mana for Scab Clan Charger or Rot Farm Skeleton. I think I want to keep the Scab Clan in my hand so I can potentially Blood Rush it. Although Rot Farm doesn't block, so, and I'm really worried about having blockers here, so I'll put the Scab Clan down and evolve my Gyre Sage. So now I got a 2/4, a 2/3, and I make a stupid attack here. He blocks with the Rage Mutt, gains 2 life, gains 3 life, discards the forest that was in his hand, so he didn't actually have the impact. But hey, you know, better safe than sorry. You gotta think about what your opponent might have in his hand, and what he's showing you. Anyway, so this is where it gets kinda stally for a while. I don't think your life titles change here for a few turns. I think Jamie's just digging at this point. I think Armed and Dangerous. Does that win in the game here? He gets 6, 9. Yeah, 6, 9, 10, 11 through. Or he could. Oh, here I play the Rot Farm Skeleton, evolve my Gyre Sage. The Gruul War Chant also makes me having to double block everything. Would also make it awkward for me, but not the end of the world, considering I have a pretty decent defense right now. So he must have drawn something here, because he's trying to decide how to cast it. I think I just get really lucky that Jamie doesn't find either of his bombs. Anytime soon, at least. So he plays another Slaughterhorn and puts the Ivy Lane Denizen token onto his Rage Mutt, which makes it a 4/4 lifelink dude. And I draw an Orzhov Cluestone, which I will play and immediately sack to draw a card. I don't need more mana. So let's see if I can dig for something here. What do I get? Hey, Sluiceway Scorpion. Oops, somebody bashing into my camera there. Sorry, folks. Hopefully it didn't give you too much nausea. Anyway, so I'll play my land for the turn, and I will use the Gyre Sage and the Prophetic Prism. I know I'm on my game when I see things like Gyre Sage and Prophetic Prism, which I can use to play my Sluiceway Scorpion that I just drew. When I'm having a rough night, I wouldn't notice that I had the mana available to cast that spell. Anyway, so I'm on my game a little bit, although I do miss some evolve triggers. I did miss an evolve trigger last turn for the Gyre Sage, which should have been a 3/4 4/5 from the when the Rot Farm skeleton came out. Anyway, so he plays Zertod Druid and puts another +1/+1 token on. Actually, I think he starts to go for the Ash Zealot here. He thinks about putting it on the Splatterthug. Then thinks, well, the Splatterthug can attack, so if Mike alphas, I need stuff that's going to kill his things. And the Ash Zealot is a better blocker. And if he gets a bunch more green things, the Ash Zealot's going to actually get pretty big. So yeah, he puts a token on the Ash Zealot. So now he's got a 3/3 first strike can't block, 3/3 first strike that can block, a 4/4 lifelink dude, a 2/3, a 1/1 that should be pinging me every turn, and I draw a Swamp. Sigh. That's not going to help. So I just pass the turn back. I'm not attacking with the Rot Farm skeleton, even though it can't block. The Ash Zealot just kills it. So it's not like it's trading for anything here. If it was going in and trading, I might be getting in there with it and then milling myself to get it back into play. Seeing if I can put some scavenge stuff into my yard. Let's see what else have I got in my deck that I'd love to see against him. I guess Sewer Shambler. Anything with flying, so one of the Dagger Drome Imps. Or the only one I've got. What else I've got that's got flying? Guardian's already dead. Here I get Armored Wolf Rider. That's good. 4/6, that'll block that Ash Zealot for a while, and that'll block his Rage Mutt too. And I miss another evolve trigger. That's twice. I could have evolved my Zealot or my Gyre Sage, so it now should be a 5/6. Anyway, so he plays Centaur's Herald, puts a token on Ash Zealot, so it now is a 4/4 first strike. And when he pops the Herald, it's going to be a 5/5 first strike. Yikes. It's getting to the point where it's going to be hard to deal with. So I'm starting to do the math in my head, figuring out how many blockers do I have to throw in front of it to kill it, assuming that he's got removal to take out one of my dudes. Anyway, I draw a Centaur Healer. That's going to gain me 3 life. Yay. So I'm back up to 16. Can't believe I missed the Evolve trigger on Gyre Sage so many times this match. So at the end of my turn, Jamie pops the Herald, puts another token on his Ash Zealot. It's now a 5/5 first strike. And he untaps for his turn. Oh, no, that's the Centaur coming into play. And he untaps. Plays a land. I think he draws a lot of land here. He's a very gracious player. So he's missed Zertod Druid at least 3 turns there, I think. 2 or 3 turns. Plays his Moss Dog. 3/3 reach. That's going to put another token on to the Ash Zealot. So now it's a 6/6 first strike. He's got 4 mana up still. I think he gets a little impatient here. My phone rings. He's gonna let me answer it. That was nice of him. And he comes with the 6/6 for a strike. Yeah, I don't know if this was the right attack here. You know, I think waiting until you draw the war chant or the thing. But anyway, so I've figured out that I have to stick like 5 creatures in front of it to make sure that it dies. He's got enough damage to kill the 2 centaurs, the wolf rider by itself. Anyway, he's going to massive raid the wolf rider. So that takes that out. And now he's got 6 for strike damage, but there's no combinations of things he can kill that won't also kill his dude because my Sluiceway Scorpion has Death Touch. Should have had if I had had the 4 or the 5/6 Gyre Sage, that would have been a decent blocker there too. Maybe I would have blocked poorly or less well if I had had that though. Anyway, when your opponent attacks with a single creature, it's an easy decision to throw a whole ton of crap in front of it. If he had come in with more of the team there, I probably would have made some... I mean, it would have been advantageous for me. So he kills one of my centaurs and my centaur healer. He doesn't want to put me a Sluiceway Scorpion in the yard because that's just going to make something else bigger. And I draw Balustrade Spy. So there's a flyer. And he realizes he's been missing the Zerta Druid thing, so I hit him for 2. I think I got a Croconura, and he hits me for 1. So I don't know how many turns he missed that. I think that more than makes up for the fact that I didn't evolve my Gyre Sage twice in this game and once in an earlier game. So now I got a 2/3 flyer, and I'm wondering, should I attack? I don't think he's got any cards in hand. This, because he's lost his 4/4 or bigger than, he's lost his first strike dude that can block. Any block he makes here, I'm going to at least take a creature with me, and I'm thinking of going in with the Sluiceway Scorpion for the same reason. And then I can dredge it back onto the Balustrade Spy. But I'm worried about the crackback being a little too big, because it's got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 15, 18 on the crackback, and I only have 4 blockers. So I just go in with the one guy that can't block. He just throws Slaughterhorn in front of it. I might as well dredge him back into play here. So I pay the 4 mana, put him back into play, and put the top 4 cards of my library. So I'm going to mill off a Swamp, a Sluiceway, or no, a Sewer Shambler, and what else did I get there? Smite and 2 lands. So I'll use the Gyre Sage and the Swamp I just played to scavenge the Sewer Shambler onto the Balustrade Spy so that he can't be annihilating fire very easily. More August Breed, I guess, which Jamie does draw here. Lucky for him. So he's got the Thrashing Moss Dog, so he can block my Balustrade Spy for a turn. I think he forgot to ping me for 1 there again. Kind of would have liked to have drawn that Smite instead of putting it into my yard, but oh well. I don't think what other scavenge cards I have. I've already scavenged the Sewer Shambler. I think I've still got my Moss Dog, and my Monitor are still in my graveyard, or in my deck, so I think. Or was it this game that they... no, it was the first game they came out, so... Yeah, so they're still in there, so scavenging those, having them go into my yard and scavenging those wouldn't be such a bad thing. Assuming I get the opportunity. He's just holding the auger spree in his hand here, and he's trying to figure out, does he have an attack? He says go. I know the combat math there was pretty tricky. I don't know. I draw my Selesnya Cluestone, which I will immediately play, and let's go draw more cards. And I get an Avenging Arrow. That was pretty lucky. So I'll swing with the Balustrade Spy. He blocks with his only blocker, the Moss Dog. And he does have the Auger Spree, so that gives my guy +4, -4, which doesn't kill him, but then the damage does. And my guy becomes so huge that it kills his Moss Dog. It was big enough anyway. It was a 4/5, and then it became an 8/1. And then he hits me for 1 at the end of my turn. And now he's going to play he's looking through his graveyard there to see if he has anything to scavenge. So he's got a 1/1, a 3/3 first strike, 4/4 lifelink, 2/3, and a 3/3 on his side of the board there. I've got a 4/1 camp block, 2/4, 3/4, 3/3, and a 2/2 with Death Touch. So he's going to scavenge onto his Splatter Thug, making it pretty big. So now it is a 6/6 first strike with Unleash. I'll throw the Sluiceway Scorpion under the bus, because I'm going to dredge him up onto something, hopefully. And then I'll Avenging Arrow that I just drew. That was a pretty sweet top deck. Get rid of that guy. Alright. And I get Karaza the Monitor. That's my trample dude. Like that very much. And I will scavenge onto my Karaza the Monitor, my Sluiceway Scorpion, making him a 5/5 trampler. And then I will attack with my Rot Farm Skeleton if I'm smart, because that's going to trade with somebody on his side of the board. Or you can let it through, which he does. So he goes down to 8. And he pings me for 1 here at the end of my turn. He thinks about it first before he finishes untapping, though he realizes he forgot, and then he does it. So now I'm down to 13. Didn't actually tap the Durtar Druid, but he just said it, so I know what he was trying to do. Slowly eating away at his board. He drops the Riot Piker, just as a blocker, I guess. I'm starting to build up a slightly better board presence here. Dagger Drome Imp, that seems pretty good. And looking to see, do I have anything else with Scavenge in here? No, but now I don't mind throwing my Monitor at something. So in both of those guys go. He's going to throw the Riot Piker in front of the, because that'll actually kill the Rot Farm Skeleton, and he double blocks with the 4/4 and the 3/3. So I will kill the Lifelinker. He gains 4, puts him back to 12. I will drop the Dagger Drome Imp and then scavenge, because I still have enough mana there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I have lots. The Karaza the Monitor onto the Dagger Drome Imp. That makes him a 4/4 lifelink flyer, and he has no flying blockers right now. He hits me for 1 at the end of my turn, so it puts me down to 12. And I think he's just losing his patience here. Alpha strikes with his whole team, and I'm like, really? Because the Riot Piker had to attack, but so I'm like, alright, what you got? I'll block there, block there, and block there. Take 3. And he concedes. He's just got a mitt full land. He was drawing 3 lands in a row there. Then a Maze Rusher, then some more lands. And he's going to look at the bottom of his deck and find a thing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the store sometime. Bye.